So, man, exactly what you said. If Inoue was able to knock out Stephen Fulton, was definitely pound for pound number one in a lot of people's eyes. What do you
You
believe?
know, man, I don't want to get into the pound for pound debates with Earl and Terrence about the fight and, what's it, 4 days, so let's kind of let them go, but it's going to be hard to top that. It's just going to be tough. Uh, it's going to be tough.
Do you think they have to have like a spectacular performance, or it's just
Man, I'm
like
a
we gotta let
history
it go?
major in boxing. And I'm going to tell you something funny. My favorite fighter is Sugar Ray Leonard. And in 1981, something similar happened where um, Wilfredo Gomez, great, maybe the greatest Puerto Rican fighter of all time, moves up from 122 to
Mm.
126 and fights Salvador Sanchez, right? In August of 1981. Sanchez put on a similar performance that he now put against Scooter. And then, you know, uh, uh, a month later, Ray Leonard put on that performance with Hearns. A lot of people don't remember, but Leonard and Salvador Sanchez was kind of named like the best two fighters in 1981. And like, I'm not sure who won the fight of the year. They may have been a close, but they was like the top two guys. So they kind of was like, I mean, one beat undefeated with Fredo Gomez. I think he was 32-0 with like 31 knockouts. It was something insane. Hearns was like 32-0 with 30 knockouts. So it was just crazy. And I was thinking about that this morning, like, man, you know, the smaller guys did it first, and then now, the bigger guys come on a week later. So I just want to see them perform, man, because people like that. I like pound for pound debates, but that's going to be hard to top what uh Inoue just did. So let's see.
What are your reactions on the fight?
Man, first I'm first I got to give a shout out to Hamza Muhammad, Wahid Ibrahim, and Scooter Fulton. Man, they my guys. I've been knowing them for a long time, and I'm very happy that they made it here. You gotta losses take losses. You gotta take your wins like you take your losses. Take your losses like you take your wins. And Scooter was a kid that the big promotional companies wasn't crazy about when he was coming out. The amateurs, I know it because he was in the gym with us. Julian is a couple years older than him, but he was in the gym with us trying to get signed. And I actually was like calling PBC, like, yo, y'all need to sign this kid. And it took a little while, but, we finally got him signed, but it wasn't a thing where you could call one time and they just did it. We had to, put some calls in. So the fact that he's here and he got the biggest purse in history for an American junior featherweight, he outkicked his coverage, man. I'm very, very happy for him. I was hurt by the loss. You know what I mean? It was tough to see that. I usually can. I Nobody can predict every fight right, but very rarely am I wrong about the flow of a fight and the tactics that guys are going to use. And I got to give Inoue credit because he didn't let Scooter get his rhythm. And Scooter is a rhythm fighter, and the fact that Scooter didn't. It's not that he lost. Anybody could lose a fight, regardless of what the fans and stuff may think. Anybody could lose on any given day, but Scooter couldn't really get much going and get his rhythm, which surprised me. And a lot of times when that happened, we attribute it to different things. I don't know what went right or wrong in the camp. I kind of mind my business with that kind of stuff. I just be supporting guys from afar because everybody got their own ideas the way they want to do things, and you shouldn't really be bothering the trainer. I don't do that. Like, well, you should have them do this, so you should have them do that unless somebody asks me. So, um, and I wasn't in the gym with them. One of my guys sparred them a couple of times, but I wasn't in the gym with them. So I don't know what went right or wrong. I'm assuming it was a good camp, but and I'm not gonna make excuses for Scooter either that he didn't make for himself. So you just got to get a credit to Inoue. You know what I mean? It was just it was a great performance, man. You know, Scooter ain't no joke, bro. Regardless of what happened yesterday, that boy could fight. He could fight. You know, and that was just surprising to me because I never seen him, you know, not be able to get something going. I probably didn't watch that kid spar 500-600 rounds in the gym. And I'm not saying that he get the better of every sparring session, but I never seen him not be able to get his work going. He couldn't really get a rhythm. He couldn't get like any sustained success in the fight, which was surprising to me. I knew Inoue was a great fighter. You know, a couple years ago when I was asked about pound for pound, I said that it's four guys that kind of separate themselves from everybody else after, you know, Loma kind of started slipping a little bit. And I was like, it's Crawford, Inoue, Canelo. This was before the Bivol fight, and Usyk. And I'm like, you can kind of make a case for each guy, but Inoue don't get a lot of credit because he's Asian and he smaller weight guy, so we don't know his opponents. But we know him now. You know, sometimes, you know, and I'm even guilty, not guilty, but I even say this, like, I got to see guys against an urban fighter with the, you know, rhythm that a lot of guys got in the inner city, you know, but we never seen Scooter in there with somebody that fast before. And, you know, Scooter is usually the fastest guy on the draw when he fight. And it just seemed like that he really didn't adjust to that kid's speed stepping in and out, man. That kid is fast. TV and streams don't do, you know, fighters justice when you're looking at their speed, you know, because the feed slows it down. That's what a feed is. So you're getting it a couple milliseconds slower than what it really is. You got to see it in person. But I never seen Inoue fight in person, but I seen Scooter fight in person. And Scooter, I'm not saying he's the fastest kid in the world, but he's quick. And I don't think he's ever been in with somebody that was that fast. And it seemed like that he never really had a chance to get adjusted to Inoue's speed and his jab. It seemed like it just threw him off. And sometimes that happened, and then your eyes kind of warm up to the task, and then you kind of get going. I'll give you a good example of that. Terrence Crawford versus Yuri Gamboa, where Gamboa was kind of getting off on Crawford the first 3 or 4 rounds because he was a smaller guy, and it was hard for Crawford to kind of like get adjusted to that speed because, you know, Gamboa used to be a 26-pounder. And then once he got himself together, he kind of, you know, he got cooking a little bit. I see that all the time in the gym with the smaller guy. But Scooter never had a chance to get, you know, find Inau's rhythm and get cooking and, you know, catch up to that speed. And which was surprising to me. That's the one thing that, not that he, in a way, won. He was the favorite, even though I was picking Scooter. But I was surprised that Scooter never had a chance to really catch the guy's rhythm, man. It's a great fighter. Sometimes you gotta tip your hat to the other guy, man, and just, you know, that was a extraordinary performance, man. You don't see stuff like that very often, especially from a guy moving up in his 4th weight class. You just gotta tip your hat to him. You know what I mean? That's all I can say, man.
Absolutely. We've seen the crowd, lots and lots of people there. Even when they called out Scooter's name, there was a round of applause. You could tell that they really they really love boxing to the point that it's like, damn, this guy came all the way out
And you
here to
gotta
put on the
give
show
him
for
props for
us.
that. You gotta give him
Round one
props for that,
comes.
man. It's no fighters that's going to Japan that's undefeated fighting for their title. I mean, putting their title on the line, you gotta give him props for that. Nobody's doing that in this era. You know what I mean? Like, no, they're just not. You know. Now, listen, he went to go get the bag. He didn't do it for free, but you know, there's been a lot of fights that haven't been made because of that. And I'm not saying the guys that don't go overseas are wrong, you know, because traveling overseas, there's something that come with that, bro. Like making the weight, getting adjusted to the food, getting adjusted to the time zone. Those are all real things. Like, everything,
water.
all of that. That's real. Your body don't take it. Listen, in 2015, right? We fought on the Adonis Stevenson Sakiobika card up in Quebec. And Julian, he's supposed to be carbing up. Man, this dude got some freaking pasta with lobster in it. And he fought Joey Hernandez that night. He did a great job in the fight, but he literally ran out the ring to go to the bathroom because, he got the runs because his body didn't take to the food. Throughout the whole fight, he had the bubble guts. So, whenever I see a guy go overseas, I give him extra props because I just know that that's a real thing. You know what I mean? That is no joke. That is serious, man. And we're giving American for doing that, especially if the title is on the line. Now I've seen guys go over when it wasn't their title and they were trying to take the title and the champion made them go over. Scooter is the unified champion and went over there. So that's, man, and I know people may say now he was stupid for doing it and, he regret the decision or whatever. Well, he believed in himself, man, and he rolled the dice. So that's not easy, man. And I wouldn't, it's a tough test. It's tougher than people think with these guys cutting all of this weight. You lose about 2 days of training just getting on a plane that far and you're dehydrated. You ever notice that whenever you get off the plane, you got to go to the bathroom and you want something to drink because you're dehydrated. So it's just, I give him his props, man. You know what I mean? To fight a dude like that in his home country with his belts on the line, that's real, bro. Trust me. And I know for a fact he didn't have to do that. He didn't have to do that, man. He could have stayed right here and fought a bunch of guys from the PBC at 122 or 126. He did not have to do it. He might not have made that money, but he would have made 7 figures fighting anybody here at the status that he's at right now. So I give him his props, man. Sometimes, sometimes you roll a 7, sometimes you roll an 11, man. It just be like that sometimes.
It's true, man.